Imagine if there was a 1 in 2 chance that every 3-point shot you took would go in. That would make you a pretty dangerous shooter, right? Well, Reed Sheppard doesn't have to imagine that, and neither do the Houston Rockets, because they just drafted the best shooter in this year's class, and one of the best shooters college basketball has ever seen.
Sheppard for 3, it's good! Get down, it gets knocked over to Dillingham. Jumper, Sheppard, shooting practice, bottom. It can go left, beautiful. Beat it, Sheppard, got him. Wagner goes behind his back, Sheppard. Oh, man!
When I say he's one of the best shooters in college history, last year for Kentucky, Reed averaged 12.5 points, 4 boards, 4 assists, and shot 52% from 3. So statistically, it's more likely he makes a 3-point shot than misses. And whilst that might not continue at the NBA level, unless he wants to become literally the greatest shooter ever, I think we can all collectively agree he's going to be a sniper. But how's he going to fit in Houston? If only we had evidence of a smaller 3-point oriented guard doing well for this Rockets team. Oh, like Fred VanVleet? Yeah, we're going to see a lot of plays like this involving Reed Sheppard and Alperen Sengun. Look at VanVleet get the initial screen. He gives it up to Alpi, who draws 2 defenders and kicks it back out to Fred. Or in this play, where 2 defenders commit to Alpi on the post-up and VanVleet is in position to knock down the 3. Reed isn't as developed as a pick-and-roll passer as Fred is at this stage in their careers, but as far as utilizing the screens to create space, or being a spacer for Alpi when 2 defenders go to him, he can absolutely give you that same presence that Fred gave you, and probably do so even more efficiently. But he is a very different player to Fred VanVleet. Whilst Fred is a pretty methodical, high pick-and-roll type of guy, Reed does a lot of his best work as a scorer off the ball and in transition. You might not think of a 6'2" guard without incredible speed being a massive transition threat, but he is, because of 2 reasons. He's an elite passer, and he will just pull up and knock down 3s at will. I can already picture people saying, look at the damage Steph Curry has done to the game when he pulls up and misses a shot in transition, but I'm going to tell you, it's going to go in more often than it doesn't, because that's what he did all season at Kentucky. Look at this one here, where he gets the steal, and the defender goes to protect the paint, expecting Reed to drive, but instead he pulls up from the wing and just knocks it down. There are just countless plays where Reed will bring the ball up the floor, either in a one-on-one situation or maybe in semi-transition with the defense just setting up, and he'll take advantage of the fact that the defense wants to protect the paint initially, walking into that space presented beyond the arc. And when I said he's an elite passer in transition, that's not hyperbole. Just like here where he knocks the ball loose, and look at the beautiful outlet pass. Now the defender wasn't close enough for it to matter, but that's a perfect pass. Or in this play in transition, where this time with defenders back in the paint, he deceives them with the casual no-look dime to the cutter. This is why I love Reed in Houston, because there are 2 styles of play that he can fit into. He can run the 2-man game with Sengun and just feast off Alpi's passing and gravity, but in a smaller unit with the likes of Amen Thompson, Jalen Green, Tari Eason, Cam Whitmore. He can get out and either spot up in transition or be the floor general finding those guys. In fact, the partnership between he and Amen Thompson is going to be so fun to watch, because pretty much all of the best parts of Reed's game complement the best parts of Amen Thompson's game, and then the weaknesses in each other's games are balanced out by the other's strengths. We could even see Amen running point guard with Reed at the 2, or vice versa. There's so many possibilities with the 2-man game between those 2 guys that I think would be really symbolic of the modern NBA. And if you want a better idea as to who Reed models his game after offensively, this is what he said. Chris Paul for the way he controls the game and sets his teammates up, Devin Booker for his ability to get to his spots, and Steph Curry for his ability to move off the ball and get his feet set immediately before taking the shot. Now I know, that would make him the greatest small guard, probably the greatest player in NBA history if he had all of those skills, but it isn't crazy to see there are some elements of those players in his game, particularly what he said about Steph Curry and his ability to get his feet set. That's what Reed is so great at doing. When you think of a smaller guard who's a lethal shooter, you think of quick dribble moves and pull-up threes, which he does do every so often, but a lot of his shooting is done off the ball, with an ability to knock down threes from all over the floor, pretty much able to catch and fire whether he's 30 feet away from the basket or 22 feet away in the corner, at times even adjusting his feet as the ball is being released from his hands, which isn't something you see very often. And as far as the Devin Booker side of things, there were definitely strong glimpses of Reed being a guy who can get to his spots in the middle of the floor and dominate in the mid-range. I think the more reps he gets running pick and rolls will just make him better and better at doing just that. Now defensively, well, that's where Reed has the most question marks, and that's just the reality of being a smaller guard. Unless you are built like Kyle Lowry, you are going to be attacked on defense as a smaller guard. And whilst Reed might give up some buckets due to his size, he also makes up for that with his incredible defensive instincts. Watch this play. Where the ball is on the right side of the floor, Reed's man has the pin down set for him before a second screen is set, which Reed manages to navigate before taking the bump and then swatting the shot away. It makes zero sense how good Reed Sheppard is as a shot blocker at his size. Well, it makes more sense when you consider he had the highest vertical jump in the combine, but even still, there's just this innate instinct to block shots from anywhere on the floor that you just rarely see with smaller guards.
Pulling behind his back, Clayton Jr. That ball blocked by Shepard. What hustle by Shepard for his jump shot first. That'll be a counter. Shepard, another block.
There are also some plays with Reed where it's just a mixed bag defensively. Like here where he gets caught ball watching, but in an instant he's able to recover and then block the cutter at the rim. Or in this play, where again he's ball watching, but has the ability to turn his head and then block the three-point shot. The glass half full approach would be to say if he can stay consistently engaged, those are plays that very few other players his size can make. Obviously, the glass half empty approach would be to say he has lapses in concentration, but one thing is for certain, you can fix lapses in concentration. You can't just simply teach the level of shot blocking and passing lane instincts that Reed has at his size. You also have to look at the team he's going to. There are high-level athletes and defenders all over the floor that can help him out, from Dylan Brooks to Tari Eason to Jabari Smith Jr. to Amen Thompson. I just refuse to believe Reed Sheppard will single-handedly tank their defense. I just can't see it happening. Now, if you did make it all the way to the end of the video and want to see more content like this all throughout the off-season and going forward, consider subscribing. It's free. Either way, have a nice day. Bye.